Our audience is full of practitioners, right? People that use talk and conversation in their business. They train their agents, reps, salespeople. What would be like the one thing that you could leave the audience with, kind of a lesson from CA, from conversation analysis, that they can actually go and implement in their business?
One thing that I've seen across lots of organizations in different sectors that I've worked with and studied the conversations of is the way they either place or remove the sort of interactional burden, the burden of actually engaging with the organization, whether they place it on their customers, their users, or they remove it from them. And so I've observed this in a big research study now. So looking at patients calling their doctors, talking to receptionists. And so what I found was that at the end of the call, either the receptionist tries to end the call or the patient is ending the call. And if the patient's calling, really the patient should be ending the call when everything has been completed from their point of view. And so we looked at moments where the receptionist tries to end the call with a thank you, all right, like everything done. And then the patient sometimes has to like really work hard to keep that receptionist in the call. And what is it that patients want that they aren't ready to end the call with? And it's incredibly simple, and some receptionists are doing it already. And as I said, my job as an analyst is to identify and describe what is it that the expert communicators are doing so that we can share that with the whole organization. And it's basically just the receptionist proactively confirming what's going to happen next in the patient's life. So before the call is ended, they say something like, so your appointment is on this day with this doctor at this time. Or so if you call on Wednesday, your results will be in. And just say what it is that's going to happen next in the patient's life. And that's in contrast to patients having to sort of fight to keep the call alive and say, but so sorry, who am I seeing? Oh, so when should I call? So when will my results be back? And we can already tell that, given again the outcome is the same in both those cases, the, the, the patient gets the confirmation that they need. But in one scenario, the receptionist is proactively offering it, whereas in the other, the patient is having to sort of push for it. And those calls are longer as well because the patients, we've just got more stuff in the call now because the patients have to ask. And what we were able to show was that the more of that burden that the receptionists place on patients to push for things, the lower the satisfaction scores were. But the more the receptionist removed the burden from the patient to have to ask for stuff, the higher the scores were.